Hi, everybody. It's a screencast by Miss Smith. I know how much you guys love screencast by Miss Smith. Today, we are going to do an activity about character development in Eleanor and Park. And I've made this screencast so that I could lead you through this activity. The phrase character development might just all by itself be kind of unclear and confusing. So I'm going to explain to you exactly what character development is and lead you to the assignment that you're about to do. For this assignment, you are going to need your copy of Eleanor and Park, and you are going to need something to write with and a piece of paper. So hit pause and get those things ready, and I'll wait. All right, so hopefully we're all back, and now you have Eleanor and Park on your desk and a piece of paper and something to write with. And here we go. All right, so let's look at this together. Character development activity. Authors of fiction use all kinds of strategies to show us who the characters are. And by that, I don't mean the characters' names. I mean what kind of people these characters are supposed to be. Is a particular character a good person or a messed up person? Like, do they have all kinds of problems? Are they badly behaved? Or why does one character act one way and another character acts another way? What are we supposed to get from that? And what is it that the author is doing to show us that? Like, when we read a book, we sort of know who the good guys and the bad guys are. How do we know that? So we're going to intentionally look today at how one author does that. And we're doing that with Eleanor and Park. And then we're going to come back here and type up a response. Okay, so you're not copying down exactly what's in this PowerPoint. Just wait until I tell you what to do. For right now, I just want you listening and thinking. All right, so we are looking at character development through two scenes, just two scenes in Eleanor and Park. First, let's look at pages 152 to 153. This is the argument that takes place between Eleanor and Richie. And it has to do with that typewriter. Remember that? So I want you to turn to pages 152 and 153, and I want you to hit pause on the screencast and review those pages. Go ahead and do that now. So hopefully you reviewed those pages, and now this is what I want you to do. On your piece of paper, using pages 152 to 153, I want you to take notes on words, phrases, and details Rainbow Rowell, the author, uses in dialogue and narration. How is this family arguing? What are the words that Richie uses? What are the words that Eleanor uses? What are the words that her mother uses? What details are included? Just look at that argument and write down words, phrases, and details that seem significant to you. There's no right or wrong here yet. And by the way, yeah, you're going to be writing some words on your paper that you wouldn't normally be allowed to write on your paper in English class. It's okay. We're doing this for a reason. We're learning from it. So now go ahead and follow these instructions and do that. Hit pause while you do it. All right, so hopefully you just took some notes from the pages where Eleanor's argument takes place. Now we're going to look at the next argument, Park's family. We're actually going to be going back in page numbers, but I wanted to look at Eleanor's family's argument first because it is so powerful. I'm sure you had plenty of words and details and phrases to write down. And Park's world is a lot different. So now I want you to turn to pages 142 to 143, and this time I want you to look at the argument in Park's world. This is the argument about whether or not Park is grounded, just the topic of the argument. You know, it starts to show us how these two families are so different. So you're going to follow the same instructions that you did a minute ago, only this time you are writing down words, details, and phrases from Park's family's argument. Go ahead and follow these instructions, hit pause, write on your paper. Go do that now. All right, so hopefully you're back. And now what we're going to do is come up with a way to describe these two arguments. In other words, we're going to think of a word that characterizes these arguments. What kind of arguments are they? So I want you to think about that in relationship to Eleanor's family argument first. You can look at those words and phrases you wrote down and just ask yourself, what kind of an argument was this? Eleanor's family argument is. Try to think of a word to write on your paper. Hit pause while you do that, because when you come back, I'm going to share a few words that I thought of. Hit pause. All right, so hopefully you're back. I would probably call Eleanor's family argument violent or vulgar. Oh, that language, right? And how about out of control? So that's Eleanor's family's argument. Hit pause if you need to. Write down one or all of these words to describe Eleanor's family argument, because you will probably need it when we go back into Canvas and you respond. So take a look at these words. Think about how the author is showing us through the words and details what kind of argument this family has. All right, now let's characterize Park's family's argument. Let's go back and look at those notes that you took at the language and the details. How does that argument go down? And hit pause and take a few minutes to think about words you could use to describe Park's family's argument. And then when you come back, I'll share mine. So hopefully you're back. Here are some words I would use to describe Park's family argument. Civilized, controlled, reasonable. This is probably the kind of family argument that most of us would prefer, right? Gosh, I know I sure would. Rather than an argument that is violent, vulgar, and out of control, gosh, if I have to be in an argument, I'd much rather it be civilized, controlled, and reasonable, wouldn't you? So to begin to bring this all together, what you hopefully see through what we just went through, the notes that you took and the way we characterize those arguments, what you hopefully see is that the author, read along with me, the author helped us to understand who the characters are through how they handled a conflict. And the author showed us how they handled a conflict through the use of words and details. Got it? All right, so now, in a minute, you're going to go back to your Canvas screen. Right now, you're looking at a video of my Canvas screen. In a minute, you're going to close out of this video and go back to your Canvas screen. And here's what you're going to do. You are going to use the notes you took. You can also use the information from my screencast. Go back and look at it if you need to, or come back and look at it because you're still in it now. And when you're ready, using your notes and the information that we just discussed, you're going to answer this question in red. How does Rainbow Rowell use language and details to create the contrast between Eleanor's family and Park's family? In other words, how are they different? This is characterization, understanding how characters are different. So how is Eleanor's family different from Park's family? And don't forget to use those words we came up with to characterize. Violent for Eleanor's, civilized for Park's. Use those words in your answer, not those two necessarily, but use words that Characterize what their families are like in your answer. Okay, so I hope you really got something out of this today. I did. I really enjoyed making this activity because I like thinking about how authors create their art. Okay, so I'm going to sign off now, and you're going to click out of this screencast and go back to the assignment in Canvas, hit Submit Assignment, and answer this question. Have fun, work hard, let's get to it.